I'm gonna go ahead and just get right into it. As far as who you give your energy to, even when you're dealing with a phone, I did a video about this earlier today, and I said that I realized I was walking today because I be meditating a lot, and I said, I really realized that I'm glad in a way that I didn't have children young. I'm glad that sometimes is glad for the Most High God is to and the only thing that's going through my mind right now, let me get y'all a scripture on that. In First Corinthians, I should say, the Apostle Paul talked a lot about if you marry somebody, it's not a sin to get married. But he said that it's better for you. It's not saying I'm not trying to encourage myself is to be single. You know what I'm saying? Do I want to be single? No, but if it's gonna cause drama and all that type of stuff in your life, because you got to be able to deal with whatever comes along or comes with it. When you think that having babies and stuff and a bunch of kids and you having a bunch of different kids all over the place and stuff, and you think somehow that money and all this sex stuff is not going to bring you happiness. Just like a lot of our women, they got their minds in the wrong priorities. They say that they love money, right? That's not the right spirit to have, because we all love material things to an extent, but those things don't last. Those are only temporary things. Those things only last for a moment. You see what I'm saying? But in the time of trouble, it's not going to be nothing to sustain your peace. Take a look at the celebrities and things that has a lot of money, but they still separate. But you sitting up there talking about you love money and all that kind of stuff. And look how many women who have loved money, but which they don't care. They want want the money. But at the end of the day, at the end of their life, when they lay down in their bed at night, that money cannot bring them peace. That money cannot bring them inner happiness. You're not going to be able to get the people say now they'll try to push it and try to say money can bring happiness. Money don't bring. I was thinking about that today, man, and maybe it's a reason why the Most High kept me to myself all my life. You see what I'm saying? I'm 40 in my late 40s now, and he has a reason for doing everything. Just like he knew that this YouTube stuff was gonna come into play in 2005. He already knew this here. Before the people was even born, before the generation, he already knew what was gonna happen. He knew that I'd be right here making this video right now. So this is no surprise to the Most High. It's like more like this is like a already recorded video to the Most High. It's almost like the video is pre-recorded already. And he like, oh, this video is old. Because see, the way we think of things, look at things, we see things different from the Most High. But let me show you something about the married thing. That's what I want to do. This is I want to come from. I think I'll be quoting from second. I just want to make sure I'm right. 2 Corinthians, the second epistle of Paul the apostle to the Corinthians. What is an epistle? Epistle is a letter that you write. Like if you want, like the second epistle of Paul the apostle to the Corinthians. So he was writing to Paul, apostle of Jesus Christ by the will of God, and to Timothy, our brother, unto the church of God, which is at Corinth, with all the saints which are in Achaia. All the saints which were at Achaia. Okay, now, Paul was writing to the Corinthian church. That's who he was writing to. He was writing to the Israelites. This was a letter that was being written to the Israelites. Now, I want to read this. I think that this may not be the exact verse, but I want to find it. Let's read this here. 2 Corinthians 11, verse 1. Would to God ye could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me. For I am jealous over you with a godly jealous. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to go to the scripture where it's talking about it is better to marry. The Apostle Paul, he talked about, he broke everything down about marriage, right? And he's telling you that it's not a sin to get married. He's just telling you you're gonna have some problems. You see what I'm saying? And he tell you if you have a burning desire, and that's the scripture that I want to find, and you cannot control your burning desires, it's better to get married. You know what I'm saying? And then when he say it is better to marry than to burn, what he's talking about is that it is better to marry. I say to burn with you burning with to passion, because you may start, if you feel like you cannot control your desires, and you feel like it goes into a deeper thing. If you feel that you can't control, or I can't control myself or whatever, when it comes to a certain thing, it may cause you to want to do something, and you know what I'm talking about. He said, it's better for you to marry. I would rather see you marry than to go out of your way and burn with passion and be in sin to get what you want than to burn and lust for it. You see what I'm saying? And I'm thinking that's what the Apostle Paul was saying. And I want to find that scripture, and I want to read that. I want to find the part where it talks about if she passed the flower of her age. Hold on a minute. If she passed the flower of her age, the Apostle Paul, it is better to marry than to burn. 2 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 36. 2 Corinthians chapter 7. Hold on. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 36. 1 Corinthians, my bad. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 7 and verse 36. Let's read this here. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Let's start 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 1. Now, concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Okay, that's it right there. It is good for a man not to touch a woman. And he's going to explain why. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, to avoid it. That's literally what I just got through talking about a minute ago. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Now, the Apostle Paul was trying to explain something here, because he said, let every man have his own wife, to avoid fornication, because he's telling you to avoid that. Not only is he telling you just avoid it just for the sake of sin and sinning against somebody, these things can cause other people to get hurt. You can put other people's lives at risk, because you don't know what the other party have on their mind. You don't know how it will trigger them if you mess with their wife or you mess with their husbands as women. You see what I'm saying? it may cause them to, it may trigger a certain thought in their mind, especially if they really love these people, to go and do some harm to you. That's why the Apostle Paul is addressing these things through the Spirit. Look what it said. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. It's addressing the man as well, and it's addressing the woman as well as it's addressing the man. Why? Let's see. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. Likewise the same thing. Now watch this, verse 4. The wife had not power over her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband has not power over his own body, but the wife. Now, we know that Esau, the so-called white man, they telling us to do it wrong. We listening to these things of the world, but let me tell you something. The reason why God is saying have your own wife and have your own husband, because if you go out there and sleep around and stuff, and this man is faithful, this man may trigger in his mind and want to get something. He might want to go and do something to you or something. You know what I mean? He might want to kill you. He might want it'll cause somebody to be. You'll get put in a grave early. Same thing with the woman. You'll cause that other woman to snap and want to go and hurt and do some damage to both of y'all sleeping around with each other. And that's why the Most High tell you to avoid it, because a lot of time, if we keep God's laws like we supposed to, and that's one of the commandments, do you know we would last a lot longer in this world? We would last longer. He said he said, long life and peace shall they add to you. He said, if we keep the commandments. Verse 5, defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent, for a time, that ye may give yourself to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your inconsistency. Okay, this is talking about defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent. That means that I shouldn't pressure my wife, or I shouldn't force a situation if she is not cool with it. I mean, if she's not okay with it. If she ain't feeling it at that moment or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's telling you how to do things in a proper order, you know, or something like that. Because if you grind in something and force something that the other person is not in and don't give consent, it can cause a whole bunch of problems. It can cause a whole bunch of confusion. You know, it can cause a lot of confusion. Because I think everything that's done, it should be done by like natural. It should be everything that should be in the relationship. It should be natural. You see what I'm saying? Because even if you do both y'all both is agreeing to do these things or whatever, and you go out and you get other women because you ain't happy in this relationship or whatever, then what's going to happen is it ain't going to do nothing. What you doing, you spreading your seed all over the place. New York, California, England, I'm just making up something, Spain, England, and all that. You got children here, children that, you got seed. You ain't never seen the seeds from the day they was born. That is nothing. It doesn't make you a man. It doesn't bring more happiness. It just bring more problems, because that person is not going to change and turn into a spiritual being all of a sudden you having all these children, because that person can have it in their mind is to turn around and go and do some harm to you, or have a family to do some harm to you, or cause problems where she might you both will be in and out of the system and all this kind of the courtroom with the so-called white man, Esau, the enemy that the Bible speaks of. You see what I'm saying? And you sitting up here like it's not that's not a good look. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't bring happiness. At the end of the day, the only thing that bring nothing in this world is not going to bring peace. Why do you think these celebrities and things is having problems in they if you look at Hollywood and stuff, ain't no peace amongst those people. A lot of those people in Hollywood and all that kind of so-called Hollywood, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like now there was a brother, he was talking about this in his YouTube video yesterday. Like I have videos that I don't have hardly no. I got videos been up almost 5 years and don't have not one view on them. I don't give a damn about all of that. It sometimes it's good not to wanna be known all across the globe and world. I'm not into all that type of stuff. The only thing I'm into is building a relationship and being the seed, come from the seed of as being a God's chosen people is the most important thing. Is the most important thing over anything in this world, bro. You know? Let's keep going. Defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent, for a time, that ye may give yourself to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not, for for your inconsistency. Even when you're married, you still got the enemy still can come inside of that marriage and play tricks on you. But I speak this by permission and not of commandment. Paul is giving his own, he said, I speak this by permission and not by a commandment. For I would that all men were even as I myself. That's his opinion he's giving. But every man has his proper gift of God, one after this matter, and another after that. I say, therefore, to the unmarried. Now, this is we getting into it now. And widow. Widow is the single woman, single household, single parent household. It is good for them if they abide even as I. Now, that's Paul said he speak this by permission and not by commandment. But if they cannot contain, let them marry. For it is better to marry than to burn. That means it's better to marry than to suffer the consequences. It's better to marry than to go out there and commit fornication and do something that trying to satisfy our sexual desires and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? It says, and unto the married, I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband. It says, let not the wife leave her husband. Don't leave him. See, because you hear women today, they'll say, well, I want me a man with some money. He taking care of me. If the money run out, things crash and he lose everything, I'm going to leave him and go on to the next guy. That's not right. Now listen to this here. And if she depart, let her remain unmarried. That means you got to remain, you can't be messing with nobody else. Or be reconciled to her husband. And let not the husband put away his wife. The Most High said, don't let the husband put away his wife. But to the rest speak I not, the Lord. If any brother had a wife that believed not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. Okay, let's read that again. But to the rest speak I not, the Lord. If any brother has a wife that believes not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. If the brother has a wife that believes not, and she be pleased, if she still want to be with him, to dwell with him, let him not put her away. In other words, if she don't believe, and she said, I don't believe, but I don't want to leave you. I just want to be in your life, and I want to grow to get off into what you're into. I'm not there yet, but I definitely don't. I don't want to leave you. It's basically saying to the man, don't put her away. You know? Respect the decision. That's like, to me, if a woman say, man, I know that I got some areas I got to work on, in my life. But man, for some reason, for some reason, I feel good being around you. I don't want to leave you or nothing like that or something like. I really don't. And then I need to learn how to be like respect it and be like, hell yeah, okay, all right, or something like that, because that tells me that that woman is trying to work that. It's like, okay, well, the person is trying. They really trying. But if the woman say, I don't want to be with this man, I just don't, he ain't feel, I'm not feeling him like that, I'm not doing this him, then I'm, by all means, leave it alone, get away from him. Let's go on, verse 13. And the woman which has an husband that believe not, and if she be pleased to dwell with her, and the woman which has an husband that believe not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. Don't let her leave. It's talking about for the man and the woman. Then that means if he don't want to leave, say, I really don't want to give up this marriage, then by God's law, stay with according to the Bible, stay with the woman. I mean, the woman should stay with the man. I mean, let's read it again. For the unbelieving husband, okay, and the woman which has an husband that believes not. Okay, it said if she don't believe, if she don't follow the commandments, if she don't keep the commandments or something like that, and if he don't do none of that, and he don't, and he said, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. That means that he's willing to work something out. That's what I'm assuming. Say, I'm willing to compromise something, to give up something because I love you. If he say, oh, okay, so he's willing, he don't believe, but I don't want to leave you because I'm willing to work on myself, and I'm willing to get things to make sure, because I love you and I want to be with you, I'm willing to give this up and I don't want to leave you. Then by all means, she should respect the man and stay with the man, because the man don't want to leave her. She should respect that if he's trying to, if he want to see the relationship go somewhere. Let's keep going. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. That means if the husband is living right, it's going to rub off on him. It's supposed to affect his lifestyle and make him want to, like, damn, I want to be like that. I want to keep the commandments. I want to do all that. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. Don't try to hold on to him. If he want to leave, let him. Don't force nothing to be that it ain't meant to be. If the person don't love you, why would you want to, it's useless. It's just, you're going to lose. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. You wasting time trying to be with somebody that don't give a damn about you. Why do you want to be with a man and he going out there slinging himself everywhere out there in the streets, and he still wants to come in, and he don't love you like that? You see what I'm saying? But you still willing to go chasing this man. That's not right. That's going into that nice guy. Like people be talking about the nice guy spending his life. Hey, you too nice, I don't want to be with you. That is stupid. That's a stupid way of thinking. It's either you care about that person, you care about me, or you don't. It ain't got nothing to do with, well, he got to have a little hood in it. How stupid is that shit? Our people need to get out of that, man. Look, it said, but if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. I mean, let him go. If they want to go out there and be doing whatever it is that they want to do, let them go. Leave them alone. Don't even try. Same thing with the woman. If that woman want to go off and whore around and do other stuff, let her go. You have to learn to get to that point. You cannot change people that don't want it. Like, you can't make people be something that you want them to be. I can't put this before them and say, look, you're gonna read this. No. If it's not natural and they ain't trying to hear me out like that, they ain't trying to they got a nasty attitude or whatever. If that's what they want to do, leave them alone. You can't change them. Let them go. Oh, that's the way you want to be. Fine, go. Because guess what? You're gonna sit there and you're gonna be trying to get a hold of that, and you're gonna fuck up the whole thing. You're gonna make your own self look stupid. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such case, but God had called us to peace. You know what I'm saying? He called us to peace. And that's the only way you can because if this person is causing problems in your life, if they causing problems, right? That's the reason why the Most High say, let it go. When he say let them depart, he means say, let their ass go. Same thing with the woman. If they want to go, let their ass go. Let's read verse 16. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 16. For what knowest thou, O wife, whether thou shalt save thy husband, or how knowest thou, O man, whether thou shalt save thy wife? But as God had distributed to every man as the Lord had called every one, so let him walk, and so ordain I in all churches. Is any man called being circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Is any called in uncircumcised? Let him not become circumcised. If is any man called being circumcised? Let him not become uncircumcised. Hey, how are you doing? I'm doing good tonight. Is any called in uncircumcised? Let him not become circumcised. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but the keeping of the commandments of God. In other words, the keeping of the commandments of God is what matters over anything. Let every man abide in the same calling wherein he was called. Art thou called being a servant? Carest not for it, but if thou mayest be made free, use it rather. For he that is called in the Lord, being a servant, is the Lord's free man. Likewise also he that is called being free is Christ's servant. Ye are bought with a price. Be ye therefore servants of men. Brethren, let every man wherein he is called therein abide with God. Now here we go, verse 25. Now concerning virgins, that's a person that ain't never, I'm guilty of that part, the virgin part. Now concerning virgins, I have no commandment of the Lord, yet I give my judgment as one that has obtained mercy of the Lord. So be faithful. I suppose therefore that this is good for the present distress. I say that it is good for a man to be a man so to be. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loose. Or now listen to this here. Verse 27. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loose. Art thou loose from a wife? Seek not a wife. But if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. That's what I was saying earlier when I started this video. And if a virgin marry, she has not sinned. Nevertheless, such as should have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. It's not a sin to get married or whatever. It's not a sin to remain. He said, if you have not a wife, don't seek to be loose, because it can cause distraction. Watch this. Verse 29, it said, but this I say, brethren, the time is short, it remaineth, that both they that have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep as though they weep not, they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use this word as not abuse it, for the fashion of this world passes away. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried cares for the things that belongs to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. That's true. I say I'm guilty of that one. I'm very guilty of that. Okay. All right. Okay, Bible. The Bible, the real thing. All right. Okay. Watch this. Verse 33 of 1 Corinthians chapter 33. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 33. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. That's powerful. I hate to let that sink in. But he that is married cares for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. There is a difference between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman cares for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. Okay? But she that is married cares for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. This is powerful though. I speak, and this I speak for yours. For this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is commonly, and that ye may attend unto the Lord without distraction. Because sometimes you have these people in your lives. Sometimes people can come into your life and can be a total damn distraction for you. And sometimes you wonder, you say, you be thinking, I'd be like, man, I'm so damn, I'm lonely. Or something like that. You be like, and then you get to a point to where you be lonely for so long. You get to the point, if it bring you peace, you get so used to it, you wouldn't even want to even deal with a person. You know what I'm saying? Let me read verse 35 again. And this I speak for your sake, for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that ye may attend unto the Lord without distraction. That means certain people can come into your life And they can bring a whole distractions against you and stuff. Because you got all these people coming into your life, or you got this woman coming in your life with an attitude, or same thing with a man, got out there and he want to deal with hundreds of women and whatever. That's going, and you trying to please the Most High God. He's letting you know it's going to destroy your relationship, and you ain't gonna be able to fully focus on the Most High God, because you're gonna be dealing with demons and spirits and demons and stuff. You trying to focus on one thing, and it can take you off your path of the Most High. That's basically what he's saying. Because everybody is not willing to do right. Everybody is not willing to at least try to do right. You got a lot of people have different tastes for different things. Just like if I call myself, I'm gonna speak for a man's point of view. If I call myself liking a woman, although I don't give, she pretty and everything, but that doesn't mean shit. You see what I'm saying? If this person got a fucked up attitude or whatever, or something like that, you don't need nobody in your life that's not going, that's showing you that you all don't, y'all energy ain't matching. You willing to treat this person really good, right? But this person has got a fucked up attitude. You can't deal with nothing. You can't deal with that. Same thing with a woman. If you got a man and this man going the opposite way, this and that and the third, and they not on the same energy you on and stuff like that, you pissing in the damn wind. You don't need you. Why would you have that's a problem. If they don't accept nothing, or don't want to be serve God like you and with you or whatever, then hey, by all means, it ain't worth it. You know? Let's read verse 36. I'm in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 30. I'm reading verse 36. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 36. But if any man think that he behave himself uncomely toward his virgin. Now I have to, well, okay, I don't think I need to say that no more. Toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age and needs so required, let him do what he will. He sinneth not. In other words, if she offer a ring, if she make a proposal or something, she want to be with him and say, well, let's try to do something or whatever, and when you realize that we can't control ourselves and that person is really into you like that, and you really, then just go ahead and do it. But make sure, what Paul is saying, just make sure that you both remain, that the both of y'all like the same thing, the same shit. I'm just going to say it like that. Make sure y'all like the same shit. Make sure that they love what you love. Make sure they like doing the same shit you do. Simple as that. If they not willing to do the stuff that you do, they ain't willing to say, man, I'm trying to work things out and I want to do the right thing and I want to do then let them go. You can't make them stay with you. You can't do that. Just, all right, go. You know? But if, I'm going to read verse 36 one more time. But if any man think that he behaves himself uncommonly toward his virgin, if it's uncommon, then you know what I'm saying? If she passed the flower of her age and needs so required, let him do what he will. He sinneth not. Let them marry. Nevertheless, he that standeth steadfast in his heart, that means in his mind, and have no necessarily, but has power over his own will, and has so decreed declared in his heart that he will keep his virgin, do as well. That means he said, if you declare that you don't want to get married and you want to remain being a virgin and being pure, he said you do it, you do well. You do well. He's saying doing well. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 37. I'm fixing to read verse 38. So then, he that giveth her in marriage does well. But he that giveth her not in marriage does better. Wow. What Paul is saying, if you don't marry, you way better off than the one that's married. Because think about it, look what's going on today. These sisters don't want no godly man. Now, am I just being one-sided with this thing or what? Maybe I'm just speaking from a man's point of view because I'm a man versus a female. A female probably will say it differently. You know what I'm saying? By them being, because a female, they're going to probably defend their, you know what I'm saying, they gender, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I have a right is to try to understand them as well too. You see what I'm saying? Let's read that again. Let's read that again if y'all don't mind. Nevertheless, he that stands steadfast in his heart, that means in his mind, having no necessity, but has power over his own will, and has so declared in his heart, meaning his mind, that he will keep his virgin, does well. Okay, he said you do well. So then he that giveth her in marriage does well, but he that giveth her not in marriage does better. He said you do better when you don't give in marriage. When you don't give in marriage and you choose to stay by yourself and be single, you better off than the one who's married. Why? Because they're going to have so much problems. You're going to have to, like you can be in, like, let's say like I'm in the room reading, right? I can be in here reading. And then the woman will come in and say, excuse me, I need you to go pick up the children. Can you take me to go get something to eat? Or can you do this here? Now you got to take your attention. They say that I'm just explaining the way it was explained to me. You got to take all that attention off of yourself, and you got to give them a little time, the physical time that they need, which is nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I never talked on a topic like this here. And I guess the reason why I never really talked on it because I'm not married and I don't have no children. Because I'm looking at how kind of advice can you give to somebody? You ain't never had no children. You ain't never had no wife. Who in the hell want to sit up there and listen to you? And I think that's part of the reason why this is actually my first time speaking on this here. And that's why I don't speak on it as much, probably. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a single person. I've been single my whole life. Raised up that way, born into being single. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's probably why I don't speak on it as much, because people might probably look at this video and be like, what kind of advice can he give me telling me how to keep my wife? He ain't never been married. Man, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying I'm aware of that type of stuff, bro. But I guess I can relate to the part of the person that's married and the advice that they can say. Have you been really at peace? Have you been? How have your single life been? I can say so far it has been really good, because I ain't had to worry about. You ain't got to worry about certain women. Women, most of them, they love money, right? Let's just keep it real. And by them loving money, and if you have a child by them, and most of them, they'll want to get with you just to have a child by you, because they feel like it's beneficial. Oh, I just want me a child. I just want to pretend and play the role like I really love them. But really, I love money, and I'm going to want the money anyway. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So if you get a child by this person, it's like you fucked up with being in Esau's system. Because that woman going to go to them and say, hey, he's not doing this and that. Now you in the system, and and all the money, whatever you get or whatever. I'm just saying, if you got an ungodly woman or whatever or something like that it's like you gonna have to deal with all of that. You see what I'm saying? It's like you not really, I gotta get up and go to court in the morning. Esau gonna have you all in his courtroom, and this one, you be in that innocent, and they don't give a damn. The Esau spirit's gonna be on that woman, bro. And I'm not even married, and I'm aware of this. Cause I see people how they tell me how they what they be going through in their marriages and stuff. I'm like, damn. And I'm not even married. I've never even been married. And I understand. I'm aware of these things. You know, it's like I better not jump and dive in that water. I don't know if that water is 1,000 feet deep or not. And it's like having children now. It's almost like it's a gamble. And even like, let's say like if you are rich, if you are a rich person, and you're going to have a lot of multiple of them coming at you. Well, when you didn't have anything, most of them, they didn't want to have nothing to do with you. And it will be hard for you to make out and be like, which one is right? I'm rich and wealthy. I'm just making an example out of this, according to the world. Like, damn, I don't really know whether this woman really care about me or not. I don't know, because when I didn't have all this stuff here, it's like they didn't care. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's gonna be hard because you have so many people coming at you, and you ain't gonna know who is who, because you don't know who's serious, or you don't know whether they coming at you, because you got to look at the fact where you got to find out if they love God, or you got to find out, do they really love you for who you are, and they loving you for you. It's gonna be hard. You see what I'm saying? So I think the easy way is to find out if a person is rocking with you. It's just look like a homeless person. You can tell real quick. Just don't have nothing. You know them then. It's like they're revealed in a way, because they ain't, who gonna mess. It's just like a rat trap, right? If you take a rat trap, you set it, and you don't put no bait, no cheese, and nothing in there. Is that mice gonna come to that trap? Hell no, he ain't gonna come to it. If you put some kind of bait in there, or some cheese, or what they like, peanut butter or whatever, that trap you're gonna hear that trap trip, because they're gonna be trying to get that bait out that trap. Just like money. Money is like a cheese to the so-called, and don't get me wrong, Esau, the so-called white man, has trained our women's this way. Now let's read the last part and I'll be done. So then he that giveth her in marriage does well, but he that giveth her not in marriage does better. Everything that I just said, that's the reason why the Most High say you doing better if you stay to yourself and you stay single. Because if you deal with this out here, and I'm not even married, and I'm starting to understand, like, okay, maybe this is why you kept me single my whole life. Even though it went through hell, and I'm like, damn, holding myself up. And then you got to look at the fact, damn, I like this woman here. But man, she ain't good for me, bro. This woman is wicked as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Esau is the so-called white man. They got our people like that. Because they not willing to be with you. If you walk up to the average so-called women, and they have been conditioned by, this came from slavery, and say, how you doing? I want to take you to the church and all of that. They'll cuss you out now. A suit and tie on and all that type of stuff, they'll cuss you the hell out. You walk around here talking about, excuse me, man, how you doing today? You're going to get your ass cussed the hell out. Why? Because Esau, that's a spirit. They have been conditioned and brainwashed is to be like that. You see what I'm saying? Our women have been conditioned to be that way because of slavery. This was an effect that came from the slave trade, because they beat our true identity out of us. You see what I'm saying? And that's the reason why you have a lot of such as like gold digging or whatever you want to call it. You see what I'm saying? And they want, because they have been conditioned by the ways of America is to be that way. It's a demon. It's a demon. It's a witchcraft demon of America. The so-called white man has a demon. They are naturally born destructive people. And this is a spirit that they put on our people. And so you have our women acting out in the spirit that they was programmed to be. So I'm not going to sit up here and just downgrade and talk and go against my people and just blame my people. I'm not doing that. That's why I don't make many videos like this, because I'm not in that form of sitting on here ever degrading my people on what this devil done to our women. The so-called black, Hispanic and Native American man and woman don't want to have nothing to do with us because they have been conditioned by the white man is to be like that toward their own people. I want to make sure I put that out there and make that very clear. Let's read, let's see, the last part. Did I read this already? Let's read verse 39. I don't think I read this. Like the last verse. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. That means if she divorce and get with another man and leave this man because this man ran out of money and she no longer wanted to be with this man, that is wrong for her to do that, and she has been trained by her enemy is to treat her husband like that. And see, a lot of people think that you got to go down to the place and get a marriage life. Ain't no such thing as no marriage life. Let me tell you what marriage is, and I might have to go and pull the scripture for y'all since I'm saying that. I'll do it. When you have the word sex means marriage. Once you, how can I put this in? Once you, that man, I'm gonna have to say rod, like they use a rod into this in the woman uterus or whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying? That's your wife. Once you have sex with that woman. Now, I know a lot of people say, nah, you ain't never been married before. You ain't never been that. And you telling us this stuff like this. Biblically, so to speak, once you have a physical interaction physically with that woman sexually, that's your wife. That is your wife. That's what makes her your wife. And I'm going to prove that. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty. See that? This is the answer I'm giving you out the Bible. She is at liberty to be married to whom she will. Once that man dead, that woman can go and marry whoever she can in the faith now. That woman can go and get married to another Israelite man. As long as it's not breaking God's commandments and going marrying a damn heathen. Let's keep going. Only in the Lord. That's what I just said. Last verse. But she is happier if she so abide after my judgment. I would think also that I have the Spirit of God. Let's read verse 39 again so we can be clear on this here. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband lives. That means she's supposed to stay married to that man and be faithful to that man and not go and have no dealing according to the Bible with no other man until that man is deceased or one of them dies or whatever. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will. Only in the Lord. But she is happier if she so abide after my judgment. Abide after my judgment. That means his ways, his correction. And I think also that I have the Spirit of God. In other words, as long as the man lives, you should be faithful to that man. You know what I'm saying? Stay married. The only way that a divorce is commanded, it separate and get married and move it on in the case of adultery. If that woman goes out and commit adultery on that man, that's the only reason that the man can go and he can give her a bill of divorce and then or something like according to the Bible. Now let me go and prove what I just said about the marriage. What seals a marriage? Let's go to Deuteronomy. Hopefully people don't think this video is stupid. They might look at it and say, man, this man trying to tell us something and he ain't never been married his own self. All right. This is Deuteronomy 22. I think this might be it here. Hold on. But if a man find and be trot a damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lie with her shall die. Okay, this is talking about force. This is not the one I'm looking for, but that's a judgment that he'll get. Force the man, mean if he raped this woman without her consent, stuff like that. In the family law of Israel, that man is to be stoned to death or die. That would to be his judgment. What I'm trying, let's get that scripture. Hold on. It says, I want to find the part where it says, he may endure her to be his. Let's get that. What makes a marriage? What consecrates a marriage? What makes a person married? That's the key word. Hold on. Let me do something right quick. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me do this here right quick. Deuteronomy, he may endure her to be his wife. Deuteronomy 22 and 29. I was right by 22, but I didn't go to 29. Watch this here. I'm going to show y'all what consecrates and makes a marriage, right? What makes a person married? What seals a marriage? What makes a marriage? What starts? How, when a person, do you need a ring to get married? Do you need to go and get papers and so on? No, we're going to find, but let's see what the Bible says. Let's read verses 29. I think this is it. Then the man, okay, let's read verses. Oh, I was right by it the whole time. Let's read verse 27. Deuteronomy chapter 22, 27. So we get the full context. For he find her in the field, and betrothed damsel, cried, and there was none to save her. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lie with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels or shackles of silver, and she shall be his wife. She shall be his wife, because he had humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. That sounds like what I read in the New Testament, and what the Apostle Paul was addressing. Don't put the husband away. If the husband choose, the unbelieving husband choose to still stay with, don't want to leave the woman, then she should respect that decision and not try to push it away. What's that? Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. It's a scripture that for he had found her in the field, and okay. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto an husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gates of that city, and ye shall stone. That's talking about if they commit folly in Israel. Okay. But what I'm looking for is, he shall surely hold on. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. If a man lie with a woman, and he shall surely endure her to be his wife. Okay. think. Okay, I got it. Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. Exodus 22 and 16. 21, 22, and verse 16. Here it is. Look what it says here. And if a man entice a maiden, if he entice this woman, persuade this woman, sweet talking this woman, or like, okay, we'll get off into it. If a man, Exodus 22:16, if a man entice a maid, I'm talking about a woman, a maid, that is not betrothed, and lie with her, he shall surely endure her to be his wife. See that? I'm going to read that again. Let me read this again. Exodus 22 and 16. If a man entices a woman, a maiden, if he talked this woman into and using them sweet, cunning words, and talk this woman into having sex with him, and that's what marriage means. This is what makes a marriage. If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endure her to be his wife. That's it. Once you sleep with that woman, that's your wife. Once you put yourself in that woman, that's your wife, according to the Bible. That's amazing. If he enticed this woman, you know how some men are very good at talking women into wanting to sleep with them. They tell them all this nice stuff that they want to hear. Some men are good at that. I don't feel like I've really been good at doing. I don't know. I can't even say that. You know what I'm saying? Because they entice them. They'll do it. Whether they do it with lie. Because think about Eve. Eve listened to the other nation. God told Eve is to don't go and marry the other nations of people. She listened to the nation of the Canaanite nation in Genesis, and guess what happened? She fell for it, because notice that the devil didn't go, the other nations didn't go to Adam first. They went to that woman, and the woman fell for the lies. She fell for them tricks. And look at the condition our communities are in today, full of, because of Esau. That's why most of our women listen to Esau, the so-called white man. When they go, especially that doctrine, God loves everybody. Oh, God loves everyone. And when the woman comes up and defend Esau, the so-called white man, they sitting back and they feel good. Our women literally make them feel good. I'm about to put a title in this thing here, right? What kind of title can I put in this video, bro? I wonder what type of title can I put in here. I'm trying to think, so people be able to find it. What? Having sex with a man or woman is what makes a marriage? According to the Bible? That's what consecrates a marriage. Because when a person, if a woman go that far with a guy, that means she has given part of herself to this person. That's saying, I trust you. I trust you so much. And I love you, and I'm willing to give you part of my life. I trust you in my arms. I trust you in every way. That's basically what it means. I trust you to be everything for me. Everything. I trust you to lead. I trust you. It's saying all of that. That's basically what it's saying. And it's also saying, if you know what I'm saying, we both on the same page or whatever. It's basically saying that you really it means you're committing. The word sex means commitment. Yeah, that's what it means. Because somebody go that far with you, that means that they basically saying, I trust you with my whole life. I'm willing to be part of you. I'm willing to become one with you. That's basically what it means. So I don't want to hold it out. I hope this video, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never really did a video this long. And I don't know. But maybe it was for a reason that I did it. But I guess that's it. I guess I'll close it out now. What can I name it? What? I don't know. Sex is what consecrates a marriage. That's all I can say. You know, I guess that's it. So I'll see y'all later.